About that. All right. Okay, today's going to be a primer in how not to use backing tracks. Okay, but first I want to whine about the weather. Here in Southern California, otherwise known as the Banana Belt, I mean, it's, you know, it's tropical. For the last couple of years, well, tropical, right? But for the last couple of years, it's been bone dry. We have not been on the rain list. All of a sudden, we're not only getting rain, we're getting rain. I mean, big rain, and it's crazy. Yesterday, we had big wind. We never have big wind here. We had, believe it or not, a wind chill factor in Southern California. I mean, does that happen? No, never. Those of you who live around the world where you get real weather all the time, you're laughing at me. I know you are, because because you understand. No, like a cold day for us is like the middle 40s or something. I know that's probably for many of you in the snow belt a reason to go swimming. Here it's like, oh God, we are cold. Running the furnace, got the heaters going. The poor dogs and I have to dash in between rainstorms and get our business taken care of. But anyway, thank you for indulging me. I appreciate that weather. You've read about it. You've heard about it. Yeah, well, we're in the middle of it right now. All right, how not to use backing tracks. YouTube and other, vendors have an amazing, a plethora of backing tracks in all rhythms and in all keys. You just can't believe, how lucky you are to have all these backing tracks, but you're probably using them wrong, okay? If you're using backing tracks as a tool, as an emerging soloist, to help you learn how to solo, backing tracks are the wrong way to go. It's a little bit like Groundhog Day, right? The same pattern repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats over and over and over and over. This will not help you, okay? And my students here who like to, play along to backing tracks and just kind of come up with, so, it becomes a note salad, and then it becomes like the same notes over and over because, they wear you down, these backing tracks too. So, what in the world are you going to do with these backing tracks? Let's backtrack a little bit here. Charlie Parker. It's been said that Charlie Parker always knew what he was going to play before he played it. No, that doesn't mean that he wrote out his solos and memorized them. What it means is he knew harmonic movement. Now, what the hell is that, Dave? You ask? The chords, chord progressions, the movement that changes. He knew the changes, and he knew the arpeggios. He knew the chord tones. That's an arpeggio. Arpeggio is a fancy word that means the chord tones that have been separated out of the 8-note scale. Excuse me. I'm okay here. I'm choked up. Cold weather, sinus, all that. I'm still whining, aren't I? All right, anyway. Chord changes. That's what backing tracks are good for you to practice, all right? This is what you have to do in life. If you're a jazz player, a country player, a rock and roll player, blues player, R&B, any and all of the above, your solo is about playing the changes. You got to play the changes. And in order to play the changes, you got to know the notes that are in them, right? Am I right or am I right? Yes or yes? I borrowed that from somebody and I forgot who, but I love it because you have to say yes. I'm right. Chord changes. That's what tracks are really super good for you to practice on, right? And you don't have to do it fast. You don't have to go. It just goes nice and slow. Just take a nice, slow, a pace and pick, why don't you pick something that works out for you in an easy key? Like go up to YouTube here and dial up a blues in B flat. Blues in B flat concert. That turns out to be C for all of you B flat musicians. And it turns out to be key of G for all of you E flatters. Okay, so in other words, our blues in B flat concert for tenor sax and clarineters is going to be C dominant, followed by an F dominant, followed by a G dominant. Okay, for you E flatters, G dominant, followed by a C dominant, followed by a D dominant. Now, you may be a bit new at the game and not know what a dominant chord is. Let me explain to you. A dominant chord is really a major chord, excuse me, a major scale with the 7th degree's been lowered, all right? We've lowered the 7th degree by a half step, right? So they're you know, they sound kind of funny, but they work really, really well in so many different formats. And I'm not going to get into that here. If you would like to dig deeper into dominant chords, why they work, what they're made of, and the whole theory of that particular kind of music, reach out to me at davegoodsax@gmail.com, or leave something in the comments below. All right, so you get your tracks going, and you're going to start, you know, working on these. Let's do the B flat, concert B flat, and I'll start with our C dominant arpeggio. And just luxuriate in those notes. I want you to hear those notes. I want you to play them forward. I want you to play them backwards. I want you to start to think about them in terms of inversions. In other words, starting on the third or starting on the fifth, right? Instead of on the tonic. Around a little bit and have some fun after you know them. There's 12 keys. You got to know all 12. Will you play all 12 in your playing career? No, of course not. But you know, you ought to, and why not? Okay. So that's where you're going to spend a lot of your time. And after you get your basic 1, 4, 5 arpeggios down in the dominant 7 form, then take on the minor 7 forms. Okay, minor 7s. All right. That gives us a flat third and a flat 7 for those of you, again, who are emerging and not really sure. Got it? Okay. After you've got all that, and you've really got it. I mean, you've locked in, right? You're able to play these, and you're able to hear yourself playing them. You've got them memorized. You've committed them. You're in. You've dialed this in. Let's start thinking about pentatonics, okay? Excuse me. Major pentatonics, work on those. And minor pentatonics, you can work on those. And then the first cousin of the minor pentatonic, which is a blues scale, you can start to work those into those patterns as well, okay? It's just not that difficult as long as you spend some seat time, and that's what you got to do. You got to be able to play the changes, okay? That's how you learn how to play them. And advanced students would want to start to think about the notes that connect those chords, the 1, 4, and the 5. There are notes that will connect them. There are, you know, and again, that's voice leading, and that's a whole different, again, lesson. And I don't want to, you know, I mean, I could spend like 2 hours here talking about these things to you. It's better if we dive deeper in person. So again, reach out to me, davegoodsax@gmail.com, okay? That's what I want you to do. Now, the last thing I'm going to, you know, throw at you while you're working on these backing tracks, right, is I want you to think in rhythmic subdivisions, right? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, they're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and is a whole beat, right? Well, I want you to think in terms of triplets and eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Think about the notes, not just the, you know, excuse me, the beats, not just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that, okay? Think about the subdivisions, and that will help you immensely when you get to the next part of this lesson. Now, what is the next part of this lesson about? It's okay, all right, instead of using backing tracks, let me turn my page here, I've got some notes. Oh, man, come on. What's the right way to practice soloing? by yourself, okay? Assuming that you don't have a practice buddy, what's the right way to practice soloing? It's not using backing tracks and trying to find something, you know, that you can do inside of a backing track. That's not going to give you any information other than the movement of the chords, okay? Unless you've written a solo out. Now, maybe you've prepared a solo. Maybe you've got something and you've got some ideas about what you want to play. Then, by all means, do that. But we are single note melodic instruments, okay? We need a roadmap. That roadmap is called the melody, all right? So I want you to hijack a song. What? Yes, hijack a song. In fact, go back onto YouTube and dial up Summertime, all right? Find a good key that you like, Summertime, and shop around in all the versions you will find of Summertime, and the living is easy. I promise I won't sing anymore, but that's the song. I want you to find that. It's an easy blues, very simple blues. Find a version of it that's got a solo, like somebody doing a solo, piano, organ, I don't care what it is. You're going to hijack that song and you're going to play a solo over the top of the other solo, okay? And record yourself. Use your phone and record yourself so that you can hear what you're doing, okay? It's always good to get self-feedback, not self-flagellation, but self-feedback, all right? Yeah, you're going to hijack a song. Now, why would you do that? Well, this is wonderful because this song is going to give you a framework, all right? Here's a melody that you can start to use to create your solo with, right? We want to use the melody of a song, and we want to know that melody. We want to be able to sing that melody, and then we want to be able to rearrange that melody during the solo part while we're playing through the changes. We want to be able to play some of those notes that are in the melody and create our own melody in the solo, all right? You got a set amount of time, right? It's not like a backing track where, you know, it just goes on for like 11 or 12 minutes of just, you know, the chords repeating. No, you got a set amount of time. You got a frame, you got a melody, you got a key, you got a tempo. You have a lot of information that you can use to build this solo on it. So why don't you do that, all right? Why don't you go do it, like right now. Hang up, stop listening to me, and go. Grab your horn, warm up, grab something to drink. Coffee's good. I'm going to have a hot coffee when we're done here because we're freezing in here. Freezing. Okay. Okay. I exaggerate. But anyway, get back to me. Leave something in the comments below. Record yourself. Post it. Share your stuff here, man. And by all means, if you don't have a practice buddy to try this stuff out with, get one. Okay? All right. Dave Good signing out. Over and out. Have a great day. Stay warm.